What is going on, everyone? Put together this quick video for you guys showing you how to rebuild a DCCD unit, or at least the process of going through it, as I feel from what I see, I think it's something that should be done more often. These aren't getting any younger, and I feel like it's bad practice to not do this. So I don't know if this will be a privately shared video or a publicly shared video. That's to be determined, but going through this thing, so we get the main snap ring out of the back with a flathead screwdriver, and then you're going to lift the pressure plate off the back. At this point, I like to take the whole thing and flip it upside down. At this point, you'll want to take some brake cleaner and blow out the housing. Now, this is less critical on the 05 transmissions. So what we're going to do is we're going to basically reassemble this thing, and I'm going to walk you through it going together. So we're going to take the Torrington bearing and the inner hub off of here. And we're going to work those down into the clutches in the front here. I don't know the exact terminology for what these are, but my brain and the way my brain tells me what things are, that to me these clutches, these front ones, are what I would consider to be like a reaction plate or reaction clutches. These are like what the DCCD has authority over. Like, this is what the magnet kind of affects. So you have your outer spline clutches, which spline with the basket. Then you have your inner splined clutches that spline with the hub. And then rotate the hub just a little bit, make sure that still spins freely. Then we're going to put our apply piston or the thrust plate on the back. Cleaning all that up. And then on this thing, you have your little check balls. On the 05s, you have 3 check balls. On the 06 or 07 and onward, you have 6. That clutches will fall out of there. You have your sun gear come out of there. Checking this for heat marks. These are brazed together, so there is some amount of heat you will see already in it, but you're kind of looking at the rollers for any, they move side to side, but they shouldn't wobble on axis, or they shouldn't twist. But just verifying that that's all in good health and you don't have any of your components backing out. These are good things to check. Now, it's going to be hard, but you're going to want to try to locate these the troughs for the balls. You're going to want to locate those on the balls that are in the case. I really hope all this is in frame, but you're going to want to put this in here. You're going to have to do some weird holding it with 2 hands from the outside, and making sure your stuff is lined up. You don't want to knock anything out of place. Okay, and then now that it's dropped in, you can rotate it back and forth and it will naturally have its resting point. If you don't have that resting point, like a defined resting point, you'll want to go back through it. So now that we've gone through this part of it, we're going to put our rear clutches back in it. These are what, if your DCCD was burnt out, this is where your problem would reside. So you have your outer, inner, outer, I noticed these earlier ones don't seem to have as many issues, so I wouldn't, honestly, if you had a problem, this maybe wouldn't be the first place I would go to look for issues. Okay, so this guy, he's a little bit goofy. He has this weird shape. He actually goes on the back side here, and what we're gonna do to assemble this in a proper way is we're gonna get some grease. I just have some Master Pro Molly, you know, your part store grease. And we're going to take this, set it down, and we're going to apply just a little bit of grease to the back side of it. Wipe the excess off. And this is just going to glue our stuff together without overwhelming it with grease. So that'll be now glued together. So when you go to put this on, it stays together. This just simply slips into the back here, and you'll know you did everything right when your snap ring just drops right in the back. If you, this is where some tools come in handy, but like I showed you with the rotating it when it was apart, that kind of lets you adjust where the height is or try to center it on the ball ramp. If you think you screwed up, just take it back apart. It's not that hard. You can take like a set of spreaders, go on the inside here and kind of rotate it back and forth, and you can kind of feel that ball ramp go up and down. So that kind of help you center things as you're going together. So then the last step is dropping this snap ring back into place. There you go. Now you have a good or verified good DCCD unit. Prepare yourself, have a whole can of brake clean ready. Other DCCDs are a little bit more sensitive. I have this one over here. This is the one out of Josh's car. This was out of his race car. This one was pretty torched, but you can see the check ball bearings inside of there. There is the plate in this one. You can probably just see it. I'm not gonna bother taking it apart. You can see the little thing here has a ramp for multiple check balls. And this is an example of the later style. They use a carbon clutch. You can see that side is hammered. That's what it should look like. That side is not what it should look like. Same thing here. This one's pretty hammered. On this one also, the wave has significantly warped, and none of this is good. Nothing about any of this is good. To my knowledge, it indeed still worked, but I would question its torque transfer. Like this also can trap grime and dirt and stuff inside of it. Just to show you. You can just see there all that material contamination. That's basically centrifugally filtered oil from the DCCD, where splash lube ends up flowing through the DCCD, and any particulate from either internally from clutches or any external from just inside the transmission at the time. Any of that material ends up in that DCCD, and it will be filtered. It will basically be just pressed to the outside. So that's why I rebuild all of them. I'll do another video on those ones, in-depth take down, tear apart, put it back together. I feel like the information is not really out there. It's a little bit of witchcraft, voodoo magic, and I believe that people should be going through them, or at least checking them. If you have a catastrophic failure, or if you go a long time without changing your fluid, both of those situations would warrant totally going through it and making sure it's cleaned out. So for the sake of you and your transmission, if you're doing any work or rebuilding it, I rebuild every single DCCD unit that comes through. and I take them apart and put them back together. It's not that they need parts, it's mainly just that they need cleaned. So nothing is worse than putting a fresh transmission together and having it fill completely full of metal. And we want to stop any of that from happening, and any of the metal that is generated by transmissions and parts breaking in, we want to be able to see that and not see the residual failed parts, component, oil, foreign contaminant in showing up on the magnet, because that can both make me look bad as a builder, and for the customer's sake, he won't trust his transmission as much as, let's say, he could. So anyways, thank you for watching. If I helped you out, leave a comment. If you want to do this on your own transmission, leave a comment. If you have any questions, leave a comment. I am pretty responsive. I will be sure to come back to this video and reply to comments every couple weeks and as they come in. So anyways, later guys.